glass now. And then if that's not enough, how about a little Shohei Ohtani? How's that for you? How's that for you every night? you're you're struggling at the plate and you got to face that, man. Sure is nice to have good money and, by the way, get the right guys. One thing to have money, ask the Mets. You still got to get the right guys. You got to get guys that can play in under the microscope of an LA market. And of course, the LA market is nothing like the New York market. And I'm convinced, man. I've been saying this going back. My cousin played for the Yankees. And I was around it a little bit, and they're down here as the Fort Lauderdale Yankees. Nothing's under the microscope in baseball like the Yankees. And the Mets, right, they're part of that market too, but it's a different deal. And it's not for every guy. There's been a lot of guys that were really good players playing in smaller markets. And so they had great years, no pressure. And then all of a sudden they take the big dollars, they go to New York, and they fall apart. Whether it's injury or just getting a funk and you can't get out of it. Now you hear the noise of New York. You can't miss the noise up there, by the way. You can miss some of the media noise down here and social media noise down here. You can't miss it up there. You think, I got through the front page, and you go, uh-oh, it's the back page. There I am. I can't get away from it. And by the way, they know, for everybody whining about we know too much about what guys make, they know every dime you make in the big markets. Every dollar you make, they know. They know when your contracts are up. They get the big picture. Anyway, hey, we want to say good morning to everybody. Got a lot of stuff to get to here this morning as we got one game this weekend that has 2 1-5 teams. The Browns and the Miami Dolphins would be that game of 1-win teams to this point. And as the guys get ready to go back to work, some of the employees over there starting to come in. I know Mike's been in since 3 this morning, and everybody else kind of starts trickling in here now, and most guys are definitely in. All the coaches in by 6, but some of the other employees start coming in. And I just want to say this, man. How about this for your players today? Hey, how about we just cool it on player-only meetings? Because all it does, it's a mess. Like, well, we've invited coaches in the back of our player-only meetings, and they're going, no, not on our side of the ball. We don't have them. When we have player-only meeting, that's what it is. And then, you got people coming out saying, well, some guys show and some don't. Some guys are late. Some are on time. Some are really into it. Some are not. Instead of all that stuff, how about we just focus on what the coaches have? You've got literally one player. No, let me get this right. One coach for every 2 players on that team. I'm not exaggerating. You got plenty of coaches. They're putting in a lot of time on everything. What you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what your opponent does to give you a chance to win in a team in a one-on-one battles. That's all. We don't need all the extra time to try to impress everybody, especially if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, just hanging out because, hey, man, a lot of guys. I've had a lot of coaches they'll tell you, hey, man, we got to get our guys out. Shula was not at 5 or 6 o'clock, get guys out. He wanted to get a whole bunch of work, nonstop. And the one thing Don Shula, besides win a zillion friggin' games, the one thing I notice, and I'm a big believer, long time and guys are bouncing down the field. We've had way too many 20, 25-yard runs against this run defense. So it's all this stuff, and it just, you really start to notice it late in the fourth quarter, because those are the plays you're going to remember. I mean, that's what pops up during the games is, what has happened to us, and they've said it. It's true. They're selling ownership on it. We've been really close. We could easily be, and great, but I looked at the standings today, and you're not what you could have been. That doesn't work. They've never put in standings where we're 1-5, but we could have been 5-1 if one more drive, one more play. They don't put any of that stuff in parentheses next to it. Doesn't happen. So, yeah, man, just kind of get back. But can we just give the player-only meetings? And I know they're going to get asked about it today. Our writers are still looking for some more juicy stuff. But can we just, first of all, can we be smart about it? Can you try? I know it's not popular to do. And look at, let me just tell you, for those guys going over there, everybody's going to be looking. You're 1-5. The finger pointing started a lot. I don't know if he did on purpose. I don't think he did, but it's kind of, everybody's take was kind of passing out the blame a little bit on everybody instead of taking the heat for being a franchise quarterback, which he should have done. He should have been a fake and done it, or a fraud or a company liner, and just said, hey, I got to play better, and leave it at that. And then you got problems with guys. You let them know one-on-one. And, we've been through this for 3 days, not to beat this up. But today, they're going to be looking. And, boy, if I'm Mike McDaniel, I'm having a meeting going, hey, guys, listen, man, let's keep stuff in-house. Let's focus. You're going to get asked. I would like to think Ann's already told hey, they're gonna bombard your guys today. Whoever's talking, they're going to get bombarded with this the team divide and what's that do, and a quarterback. Listen, man, he made a big mistake. That wasn't a baby mistake. It was a big mistake. But he needs to put that fire out as quickly as possible, get everybody zoned back in, and he needs to act like a damn head coach in that meeting today. More than ever, he needs to act like a head coach. He needs to say, hey, enough. I know what they're going to ask. I know what everybody's going to get today. They're not going to be asking. They might ask you a little bit about Dylan Gabriel getting his third start for Cleveland, but man, it's going to be the other stuff. Listen, the other stuff, that's what's on the front of the paper. That's what's on the front of, I shouldn't have said paper. Nobody's reading papers anymore. Of all your favorite websites is Tua stuff. Guys still spitting out their comments about, and everybody. I don't know if I can remember a quarterback that had nothing to do with his play and everything to do with his comments more than what just happened to Tua. Woody, can you ever remember a quarterback getting blasted? I mean, there were more guys jumped in on the party yesterday, man. And basically it was a little different for everybody, but bottom line is, if you got problems with people, take the high road while you're up there after the game. Take the high road. I got to play better. You want to throw, we all need to play better. That's fine. But make sure you take accountability. And then second of all, if you got the other one, you got problems with guys, let them know. Let them know, or take some of the other captains if you're too much of an introvert and you don't feel comfortable going to a big guy or a guy that you're not sure about and how he'll handle it. Take one of the other captains with you and go, hey, man, we just need, a little more out of you. But I got to tell you, that's a tricky one too, because people want captains to jump on guys. I've been around captains, never been one, but when the captains start talking like coaches, you better be good. You better be playing really well when you decide to take that line and you decide like, hey, man, we got to, because guys going to be looking at you going, hey, is that the guy that threw the 2 picks late in the fourth quarter? Is the guy up there telling us we need to do this and that? It's a tricky one, man. That's why let's stay away from the player-only meetings. Let's worry about ourselves playing better. That's it. That's it, man. That's what it's going to look like. I'm guessing this Cleveland game is going to come down to the wire again, because they all do. And I can't, shockingly, we're 2.5-point underdogs in this game. This is a team scoring 13 points a game. Now, I know what you're saying. We got a run defense problem. We're giving up 29 points a game. I get it. And that's what Vegas is saying, the same thing. We got to go to break. We got more stuff to get to here. Chris Perkins from the Sun Sentinel. He was fired up about this whole thing. Thought I was a little harsh on the writers the other day, giving some guys a break. Yeah, check that. Giving Tua a break. Anyway, hey, right now I want to talk to you about something very serious early in the morning. Don't roll your eyes. I'm here to help you, not hurt you. Atlantic Men's Clinic. If you're dealing, fellas, and it starts in your 40s, God, I'm glad it didn't happen in my 40s. I'd have been miserable. Low T and ED. Man, they're bad. And every guy's going to get this. Every guy. A lot of you have it, and you're running through life telling everybody, and I call it the big lie of men because we don't go around and brag about having low T and ED. Hey, it hit me, and it hit me hard. And when it finally went out, it was starting, and I knew something was coming, and I was aware of it. But, boy, when you get full-blown low T and ED to your energy level is shot, all you think about is sleeping and eating and watching. I fall asleep watching movies. And then ED, your sex drive is gone. And I don't mean hit and miss. And if you don't get some help, nothing's going to happen. You might as well go sleep in the other bedroom and make excuses. Well, if you're tired of all that, Atlantic Men's Clinic can change it for you. It's the only place to go. It really is. If you want to turn back the clock, go set up that first appointment, get your PSA test. Not only that, meet with their professional staff. They're going to put you on a program that gives you great results. It's fantastic. 7 locations in South Florida. I had great results, and I'm just telling you firsthand, this is not just reading something. This is a program that works. Atlantic Men's Clinic's got me for life. Call them today, 877-455-7300, or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Brand new location in Hollywood. Just another, making it a lot easier for you to get this ED and low T taken care of. All right, and we bring on Chris Perkins, Sun Sentinel Dolphins columnist, not in on the ass kissing of Tua after the game, by the way, just for the record.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for taking that. You had me fired up yesterday. I'm texting Woody during the show. I'm like, what the hell is Joe talking about?
But you know who it was, right? I mean, you know who the characters are.
Let's name names. Let's be unto it like a name names. Omar. Yeah.
Omar. Oh,
you gotta mess with Omar.
No, Omar. You know, and Omar hears everything. I mean, for sure. Hey, so I just got to ask you about the whole thing. So you hear those comments, and so I didn't hear them till I got in later, and they ran them a little bit later on the post-game show on radio, and I hear this, and I'm like, dude, that would be it. Like, his teammates there's going to be some teammates who are pissed off. And by the way, if it was his group that he was meeting with, they have no respect for him if they didn't show up or they're coming in late. They just think, hey, man, I'm tired. You're not playing that great, so I don't want to hear what you have to say about whatever we're going to talk about. What'd you think?
Yeah, no, so when Tua speaks, the locker room is open. So I always go in the locker room. I'm rarely in there for Tua. So David Ferronis, my coworker at the Sun Sentinel, played me the video of what Tua said. And right after I saw it, I'm like, what in the world is Tua doing here? Like, this is absolutely crazy. And so, I was really going to take Tua to task for this. But then I decided, you know what, I don't know the whole context. He wasn't there. And plus, there was the part at the end where somebody said, for clarification, are guys missing meetings or just late? And Tua's response was late. Yeah. And so I'm like, what does that mean? And so I didn't. But what I wrote was that what Tua did was stupid. I didn't say Tua is stupid. I said what Tua did was stupid.
It doesn't matter what you think. People are going to think he's stupid. It's fine. I mean, it's either way. No reason to clarify it.
I think Tua is tone deaf. And he could say things with good intentions, like I go home and watch videos with my kids. And the way he should have framed that is kids can make a bad day at the office seem okay. But he didn't phrase it like that. Yeah. He phrased it in a way of, I don't give a damn about the game. I'm not worried about that.
Well, what about the fat? What about the fat people on the chips eating chips at home?
Right. That's,
what are you doing, man?
Tua is not a bad guy. He's just tone deaf, and he's been talked to about how the message comes off, how it's received, and it doesn't register with him. And so that's one of the big things with Tua. And the other thing with Tua is, like, what you said after the game throws Mike McDaniel under the bus. It makes it seem like Mike has lost control of the team, that players have no respect for each other because they don't show up at player-led meetings. They have no respect for Mike because, again, they don't care enough to show up at player-led meetings. He doesn't understand how these things come off. He's tone deaf. And I think that's one of the big things with Tua is that, people try to tell him, Tua, the way you mean this is not the way it's received, and he doesn't quite grasp that concept.
Can we just get rid of the too deep thing was driving me nuts, and that's finally nobody's talking about that, thank God. Player-only meetings. Like, I was on a team that we lost games, and we had player-only meetings every so often. This team we're going player-only meetings. Player-only meeting. Like, calm down, man. That's not going to change it. That doesn't help you win in the fourth quarter, player-only meetings. I don't buy it. What about you, Perk? Way too much talk.
They think it helped them last year because I wrote about this in November. They had a lot of – and what Tua mentioned are mostly player-led film sessions. It's different than the player-led meetings. The players-only meetings that I wrote about in November are called by the Leadership Council. And I talked to Zach Sealer about this, and Alec Ingold and Teron Armstead. And Kendall Lamb, 4 vets, okay? And so they were telling me that they're called by the Leadership Council and they're held in conference rooms, blah, blah, blah. They seem to think it was a factor in them going from 2-6 start to 6-3 finish. They say they aired a lot of grievances. They talked about a lot of good things. I think they're overblown, but the players believed in them.
Yeah.
That's not what Tua was talking about. Tua was talking about player-led film sessions that they have on Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, those are different than players-only meetings where it's the whole 53-man roster and the 16-man practice squad, and they get into a big auditorium and they talk. That's not what Tua was talking about. But I agree with you, Joe. I think those meetings are overblown, but the players last year seem to think that they helped. And so, you know, they'll probably continue having those type of 69 players only meetings that coaches do not attend at all.
We got 26 friggin' coaches, by the way.
I'll say this. I talked to a player, and a veteran offensive player in the locker room after the game, and I was asking him, you know, because Kenneth Grant, the Rook, had told us that coaches attend player meetings, and he meant these film sessions. And this offensive player looked at me like I had three eyes. He was like, what do you mean players attend the meetings? And I said, well, you know, KG told us and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, that doesn't happen on offense. That we don't have coaches come into our film sessions. We settle this, you know,
God,
so I don't. And I wrote that. I wrote that in my column. It's a mess. So I'm not. You know, I don't know what Tua is. There's a disconnect there. There's a big disconnect there. Something's missing.
Hey, so did you hear what Teron Armstead had to say? Did you hear Teron stuff?
I heard you talking about it.
So I'm going to go ahead and get this Teron Armstead, who, by the way, is with the team a lot, comes in and helps from time to time. But as far as former players, he's the guy that's been there the most, who just played. Here's what he had to say about the team.
Man, this hurt me to say, but the Dolphins simply are not a good team. Plain and simple. Like right now, present day, they're not a good team. They got good players, a lot of good players, but not a good team. I don't see team right now while I'm watching them on TV or on film. I don't see team. I don't see the camaraderie. I don't see the excitement, the energy. I don't see the celebrations. I don't see pre-planned touchdown celebrations going on right now. I'm not seeing Miami vibes. The vibes that we had the last few years that me and Rob can both speak about, I'm not seeing the vibes, and that it's taken away from the team aspect. I'm not seeing a good team in Miami. And it's tough to say, but it's just a fact. It's a fact. Yeah. It's frustrating. I know you removed, so you don't even have these same feelings about what's going on. I'm removed, but that's my team. That's my last team. You know what I mean? So it's frustrating to see, bro.
Yeah. So that's Rob Hunt and Teron Armstead, two guys that one was your former guard. Well, what'd you think about? By the way, Kim Bocamper, God bless him, before the game goes, these guys look flat, man. Something's not right. And I was like, you know, Bo's over on the sideline. Did you feel that way as you're kind of watching? There was no real celebration when they did make plays. It was just, I don't know. Some of the juice has still got to be fun. Game day still got to be fun. You're getting paid, but it's got to be fun, right?
No, Teron's 100% correct. And as a matter of fact, last week in the locker room, you know, I've always thought that this team had a good fighting spirit. And I've written that they don't quit. They're just not very good, but they don't quit. You know, they're going to play. And
that's true. By the way, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to, and so what Teron said is 100% correct. So last week, I was going to do a story about their fighting spirit. And at one point, I looked around the locker room and I told somebody, you know, there's no vets in here right now. There's nobody in here that's been here for the last 3 years. Jalen Waddle was in there, and I talked to Waddle about the fighting spirit. But I'm looking around, and there's like Brunskill, and there's Waller, and there's Quinn Ewers, and you know, all these guys who have been there for 1 or 2 years. And I'm like, how can they? And then, you know, Joe, the secondary was thrown together. The quarterbacks weren't even there at the start of training camp. And it's like, they don't have any camaraderie. They don't. And, you know, what game was it? The Buffalo game where I had noticed they were just starting to have fun. Was that the game where Tyreek did the backflip after the touchdown?
Yes.
And he saw the waddle. And I was like, wow, this team is just now starting to have fun. And then, you know, they lose to the Jets and the fun has gone. But Teron is 100% correct. I had noticed that last week, but there's no camaraderie because there's no team. This is just a bunch of 53 guys who were just thrown together at the last minute. I'm not sure that they really even know each other.
Yeah.
Spot on by Sharon. Spot on.
Hey, so I got in this late last night. I know you've been your whole life, even away from this, as people are asking about this. So last night I got an interesting one. Who put this roster together was kind of the conversation, the GM or the head coach. I heard would, especially after a little success on putting this thing together. And I go, well, if he did, shame on Chris Greer. If Chris Greer saw stuff that he knew wasn't right, he's a GM. Last time I checked, the GM's over the head coach. And if he did that, then that's a bad look for both of them. What do you think?
You're both right. You're both right. Mike, look, Mike got everything he wanted this offseason, right? He got the shiny new senior pass game coordinator in Bobby Slowick. He got the big receiver in NWI, Nick Westbrook-Kine. He got the big running back in Alexander Madison. He got the two guards in Jonas Naya and James Daniels. He got two quarterbacks in Zach Wilson and Ken Ewers. He got the backup offensive lineman in Larry Gorham. What did the defense get? They got Kenneth Grant. That was pretty much it. After that, it's a bunch of afterthought. Mike Hilton, and they looked in the meantime. You got KJ Brent and Willie Hayden with backup. You got fifth, sixth, and seventh round, defensive players and Jason Marshall and Jordan Phillips. The offense got everything it wanted. Mike got everything he wanted. Not Pro Bowls, but the guys that he wanted. And Weave was basically left with nothing. Now, look, that's not an excuse for Weave. That run defense is ass. I mean, there's no excuse for that. Pass rush is no good. But Chris Greer allows that to happen because Chris wants to make the head coach, happy.
No, so, he said there's nothing worse. Chris has told us. He's probably told you. I don't want to get somebody that the head coach doesn't want because then he throws it back in my face when we're having meetings. This is the guy you want to look at him. He can't play.
Right. Yeah. So it's institutional failure, Joe, that you need a strong GM and you can't have that kind of offense-defense imbalance in the offseason. You just can't, especially when you knew Jalen Ramsey wanted to go before the draft and you trade out of the third and fourth rounds. You could have got a starting quarterback. I mean, look, losing Cater and losing Storm Duck and losing James Daniels and losing Austin Jackson basically at the same time were crushing, right? That was through week one from training camp with Cater through week one with Storm Duck. I get it, but you should have had better backups. And that's where it's on you for poor roster construction that you knew that you have offense, you have injury vulnerabilities at certain spots and you didn't have a better plan. We think you have a better plan at backup quarterback, but you've never developed a backup quarterback. So who knows if Zach Wilson can play? But there's just roster flaws and poor roster construction all up and down the way, every month, every week. It gets exposed more. They've got to make a change, though. These two guys, I like both of them, but they cannot return next season. Absolutely, positively cannot.
All right, Perk. I didn't mean to get you all fired up on your day off, man, but thanks for coming on here today. I don't mind getting you fired up when you're on your way to camp, but not today. Thank you, Perk.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Joe.
I appreciate it. Down, Chris Perkins, Sun Sentinel Dolphins columnist, showing me. At least he laughs a little bit with me. All right, hey, got to tell you about my friends at Era Round the Clock Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Trained and certified technicians, 135 trucks on the road, 7 days a week. The best people in the industry. Yeah, those trained and certified technicians. Yes, sir. Hey, I want to let you know when it comes to air conditioning units and water heaters, we got a warehouse full of all different sizes. So it's about great service. That's what this thing was built on 37 years ago. The best plumbers, the best air conditioning folks, people to install quickly. Welcome back. By the way, we got something pretty big going on here Friday night, man, right here on WQAM. The Miami Hurricanes, 5-0 against Louisville Friday night, and it is so refreshing. We're going to have Brett McMurphy on at 8 o'clock and talk about the Canes. But the whole Bain and Mesidor story, the front seven, I saw the comments yesterday of the head coach for Louisville talking to the Gator coaches and said they're really good in their front seven defensively. They are really, really good. That was the first thing he said that kind of popped out. It's kind of weird, right? After last year and just how good the whole gang has been so far. Mesidor and Toure and Thomas and Scott, and Bain and Mesidor, Moten. I mean, you can just go on and on of the list. I didn't even mention the secondary for the most part there. That's off to a good start. Really haven't been challenged that much unless you count the Florida State when they loosened up a little bit on their coverage there with a big lead. So this is fun, man. And they've got two guys, obviously, that everybody talks about that are going to be high draft picks. No secret when you talk about Bain and you talk about Maui Noah at right tackle. Matter of fact, I was just reading some comments that a lot of people think he, besides could play right tackle, he could be a really good right guard. And I'm thinking, if he can play right tackle, that's where he's going to play, because there is a shortage, as everybody in the NFL knows, of those big guys that can play. But it is nice to, and just adds value knowing that the league looks at you and your body and your strength and says, oh, he can play either one. He's good to go. But, man, this team, because they played a lot of games on national TV, so everybody's had a chance to see him. There's one guy we don't talk about enough because we get caught up in skill position players. I'm guilty. Fletcher and Tony and Daniels and Carson Beck, obviously, the quarterback, and off to a really, really good start for this team. But there's another guy that is on that offensive line, and all he does is grade out well every week. Gets offensive lineman of the week in the conference, in the division. And that's James Brockermeyer, who came in as a transfer portal guy and has been really good. Like, puts the whole thing, man. It starts with him right in the middle. And this is what happens with all the great stories you have right now and all the guys off to good starts and their numbers and everything else. And they've got a big offensive line, but the guy that everybody kind of forgets about is James Brockermeyer at center. I just you start talking about guys that are playing really well, and he's right there in the middle of it, man. They don't just go around going, let's give some awards to somebody different this week. So just so many good stories. A lot of it, obviously, getting the right guys for your system, but you got to coach them up, put them in the right situation. And boy, they are really, really fun to watch. They've been healthy, knock on wood so far. And so now we'll find out. Now you're going to start jumping into this ACC play. Everybody in the conference is. But Friday night, Louisville has only got one loss, and that was an overtime loss to, was that double overtime or overtime to Virginia, who's off to a great start themselves, and of course beat Florida State, although now everybody's beating Florida State, so I don't know how much you're reading into that. Hell, they got 3 straight losses. My God. How do you beat Alabama and then lose 3 straight ACC games? You literally, in a matter of 3 weeks, have gone from everybody had you FSU's back, it looks like what they were a couple years ago, to now wonder if the coach is going to be able to hold on to his job by the way they're playing. Now, I think they have Stanford this week, which will help. Should help.
I think they have to go out west for that game.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of an advantage it's just so West Coast out there.
I don't know. Yeah, they're Stanford's like 18.5-point underdogs in that game.
Are they?
Yeah,
I figured
something bad like that.
But
it would, yeah, what a violent swing, man, to go from top 10 to we need a new coach.
And they beat Alabama. Like, I don't know if they'd want to play Alabama right now. Alabama looks really good. And by the way, their quarterback is, for me, watching that guy play, because I wanted to get in this quarterback thing. This was supposed to be this great quarterback class. Oh, don't worry, man. It's not about this quarterback class. It's about the one that's coming up. Yeah, remember last year, we have 2 guys going the first round last year. Does that sound right? First pick, Cam Ward, and then Jackson Dart. That was it. I don't think there's anybody in between, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
He was the second first-round pick of the Giants. So they're going, hey, don't worry. Next year's class is the one. Arch Manning. That was the name that started with. And I saw somebody out there, they're already evaluating guys as how they played so far and up and down the list. But this class overall, there's been a lot of disappointing play from guys that were supposed to be really good. Seriously. And I'm not saying that they physically, they can make the throws and stuff, but the story in LSU to me, I don't know. Clemson, I'm not sure I'd take Klubnik in the 7th round right now.
Well, look, if we've learned one thing, just because you're good in college doesn't mean you're going to be good in the pros.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you're not great in college, sometimes your game translates at the pro level. Like, we've learned that, all right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, sort of.
I don't need a guy that's necessarily an elite college player to come in, because those guys they're not surefire.
Yeah,
right?
But I will say this. If you want to if you get bored, just go home and see the amount of first-round picks that are starting a quarterback right now. I'm just saying. Now there's been a lot of busts that we don't talk about. You're right. Matter of fact, a lot of the backup quarterbacks are first-round picks too.
Yeah,
now
we got one of them on our team.
Yeah.
Guy was a top pick.
No, you're right. You're right. And he's hoping for the same rehab job that Darnold, Mayfield, and Daniel Jones have been able to do so far. But I got to tell you, man, this class.
But that's the thing. I wouldn't look too far into it now. Like, yes, and I'm with you, by the way. And I thought the guy from Oklahoma stunk too.
So he
watching
comes
him
back,
play against Manning, who I think is, obviously,
who everybody thought,
but
everybody thought him. Then Dante Moore was supposed to be the guy, and Dante Moore's running around the other day against Indiana and taking sack. And like, what happened to him? And people were saying Dante Moore might be the first quarterback taken out of Oregon. And then the guy that's moved up, like, hey, watch out for me. The kid from Columbus High School, Fernando Mendoza. I am really curious to see. I don't study these guys, and I'm not going to go work them out like every team in the NFL is, including the Miami Dolphins will be heavily involved in looking at all these quarterbacks. And I have no idea. I really don't. But let me ask you, is there any guy right now that is a surefire you go, get me that quarterback? Usually there's one guy every year. Cam Ward was that guy last year. Cam Ward, first overall. I don't think any of us were surprised at things that he did. And we've had some guys that are number 1 overall. Trevor Lawrence. You know the names of the high number 1 picks. Is there one of those guys right now you go, man, we get one of those top picks, we got to take him? Or there's 2 guys that we love, we got to get one of them. 1A and 1B. I don't know. I don't know with this quarterback class. And again, they've all had their moments according to who they're playing against. Some of the teams we're finding out now. I hear Arch Manning's team's getting blasted that the team's overrated and they're not that good. And he's
oh, that's what it is. They didn't put enough around him.
Yeah, and the offensive line hasn't been great, and he's running first. And I'm like, hey man, that's also part of life of being a quarterback. And if you don't believe it, I'll show you some guys that in the pros are running for their friggin' lives right now every week that are trying to keep things. Now they're, a
lot of the mock drafts don't even have the Dolphins taking a quarterback in the first round. So,
yeah.
One of them I saw is I'm taking some tackle, offensive tackle, and then this one I'm looking at says Reuben Bain at 3.
Well, I think we could go a lot of different positions off this roster right now. We had Perk on, and he was talking.
Well, what do you think is the weakest unit on the team right now? The weakest position?
See, that the problem is
that's a loaded question. I know.
Yeah, but the D line, but it's got all young guys that those guys have to work out.
Okay.
Like Jordan Phillips and Kenneth Grant have to be good at some point. No, I'm well. Kenneth Grant for sure is your first pick.
Yeah, man. But here's the other thing: though. You're hitting this is a full reset on everything that Chris has done. So,
Well,
like, you don't have to just hold on to his guys, just and hope that they
so
pan out at some
here's a
point.
problem we have through what is it, 6 games going into our 7th game. Remember, we talked about last year's draft and how good it was, and this year's draft.
Mm-hmm.
We really have, honestly, one guy playing really well. And he's one of the best players on the team in his 2nd year, and he plays left tackle, Patrick Paul. The other guys, and again, they got plenty of time. This is not the rush, and I'm for everybody. You sound really stupid if you're after 6 games you've decided who's going to be a bust and all those. Don't do that to yourself. You're better than that. But I'm just saying, through 6 games, and the guys were here last year, because Chop's been very quiet, and it hasn't helped that they've been running against him so much, because that's not Chop's thing either. So, yeah, one guy, Patrick Paul, is the guy. 2nd round pick a year ago, has ended up right now probably one of the 4 or 5 best players on the team. All right. Hey, saying all that, I want to get to something else very important before we hit this 7 o'clock hour. The main man, Anthony Caliendo. I want to talk to all the business owners out there, my age, a little older, maybe a little younger, ready to sell that business. Man, tired of the stress, tired of all the headaches. Are you just tired of being tired when you come home? Even your wife or girlfriend has made a comment, will you please get rid of this thing? It's driving you nuts. You're not going to see a whole bunch of more birthdays if this keeps up. Man, he's going to do it all for you. I can't say enough about his dedication, his way. Hey, he wants to let you know, boy, from top to bottom, if you want to get it done, somebody can get you through the whole process from start to finish. Call 1-800, the main man, and speak to Anthony Caliendo. He can flip your biz and cash you out in a big way. He doesn't just list your business. He packages your business to sell. And that's really what makes him number one. Man, Florida's booming right now. People looking to buy companies just like yours. He's got a list of people that have called. They're moving down here to South Florida looking to buy a business just like yours. Hey, man, I want to let you know, if you think you're ready for it and you're going through it, you don't know what it's worth, you're going through all that stuff. He's got a strong relationship with the banks that finance the deals. He knows how to put buyers and sellers together at the closing table, and you'll be happy with the amount of money you are able to get. I tell you, I go on and on about the big man. 1-800, the main man, and speak to Anthony Caliendo, the main man, today. 1-800, the main man.
This update is brought to you by Doral Hyundai, home of the price detour. Lowest price. Visit us at Doral Hyundai or DoralHyundai.com. Starting with the Panthers, who will be in Detroit tonight to take on the Red Wings. The puck drops at 7, and the game can be heard on 104.3 WQAM. Over to the Heat, who host their red, white, and pink scrimmage tonight at the Kaseya Center. Tip-off is at 6:30, and that game can be heard on 560 AM. And in baseball, the Dodgers took a 2-0 series lead over the Brewers with a 5-1 win. Joe, we'll go back to you.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. As Dodgers last night, if you love pitching, it doesn't get any better than that. You're waiting for a lot of offense. Not going to happen with that Dodger pitching staff right now. My God, they're just nasty, and they just keep throwing out. They got more guys on the way than just getting great starting pitching. Got a complete game last night out of Yammamoto, and the game before got 8 innings out of Blake Snell in game 1 against Milwaukee. So off to a 2-0 start with 2 guys taking all but 1 inning so far. Incredible what they're getting. And you got a lot of teams got big payroll. They got a huge one. Don't get me wrong. It's big, but they also hit on a lot of guys, unlike what happens in New York, where they pay some guys and they disappear. All right. Hey, we've got a bunch of stuff to get to here this morning. I just want to say this is a lot of Dolphin employees are going in and getting set here, back to work, couple of days to kind of everything to kind of calm down from Tua's comments and everything else. I just want to say this, man. Just listening to it, and like any other topic, it just gets old. Can you stop? Please stop talking about player-only meetings. Like you're trying to impress everybody by telling, oh, yeah, we're doing player-only meetings, and we're going to have player-only meetings, and that's going to take care of everything. Player-only meetings. And player-only meetings with some coaches. Wait a sec, not on our side, your side. Well, they're not supposed to be there. Like,
can we add leadership to that? Like, please don't talk about it anymore column. I'm so sick of hearing this. We need the leaders, the leadership council. Like, good Lord, man. You guys are professional athletes. What is this stuff?
Yeah, we
I've never heard a team talk about this stuff this much.
Woody, I totally agree with you.
Leadership.
And, you know, he started with the leadership thing. And again, I get leadership, and leadership's always going to be around. And but the player only meetings, can we just stop? And player only meetings, and Mike comes out and says, yeah, but the coach meetings, everybody's been on time. It's been great. Everybody's listening. But the extra player only meetings, that like, stop. Just stop. If you're having them, great. If you want to have them, great. Don't tell the world. Like you're trying to go like, hey, we want to let you know we're staying longer and having player-only meetings and individually. No. And that's the other thing. They throw out generic stuff, and people are going, so you're throwing them out, nobody shows. No, we're all in meeting. Then you got to explain. Those guys should all be sick of talking about player-only meetings. Stop it. I don't know what the leadership council talks about with Mike, and let's get this done, and let's do this, and let's get this guy going, And listen, there's probably some really good leaders on the team. I think Jordan Brooks probably pretty good. I think Zach Sealer's really. They got some guys that are frontline guys, and then you got some guys that seriously, they don't want anything to do with it. They just want a ball. And that's good. That's fine. Every team's got them. Like, hey man, I'm not interested in being the cheerleader out in front and getting guys going. I worry about me, and you don't have to worry about me. And I had some of those guys, and they're fine, man. Because, you know, they are dogs on Sunday or Monday night or Thursday night. But I got to tell you, can we just put a timeout to that? Put it away. And if you're having them privately, do it. But don't try to tell everybody like, oh, we got them this week because they went player-only meetings for 3 of the 4 days they were practicing after. Nobody cares, man. Nobody cares. And it's just, hey, I got an idea. Win more one-on-one battles, make more plays, stop with the mistakes and bad penalties at the bad times and picks and missed tackles and missed blocks late in games. Really, all I think of is, I mean, they've had some droughts, and throw the first game out, they just got kicked every way possible in the first game. But everything's, you know, fourth quarter. Yeah, a lot of games in the NFL come down the fourth quarter. and they're not winning the fourth quarter. Either the quarterback's throwing picks or he actually has had a chance to have a couple of game winners, but the defense couldn't get stopped. Special teams had a bad return in the last game, and you can't have bad returns when you're down just when you're up and a field goal can beat you, and you know the other team's got one of the 2 or 3 best kickers in the NFL. That's not a good formula at all. But yeah, man, let's talk about those things. And guys just got to go out and do that. That has nothing to do with meetings and more meetings. And this is what I'm thinking. We just need guys to win one-on-one. The game, I know it's a team 11-on-11 game, and you got to play. Everybody's got to be on the same page. I get it. But a lot of it's just winning one-on-one battles and being able to finish. Get the sack. Make the block at the end of the game instead of whiff. Just the things that you've seen. And when we need a kickoff team, get somebody down there, man. Get somebody down there and says, hey, guys, let's get them inside the 30. Let's see if we can get them to 25. They got a guy 292 pounds for the Chargers. You see that guy running down ahead of everybody by 5 yards, clocking our return guys, clocking them. 290 pounds, running like 5 yards ahead of all the other guys running down on the coverage teams. Incredible. So, yeah, but I hope today, because this is what you're going to be, and at some point, you really got to focus. But Mike got to be in a meeting this morning. Like, guys, let's let the stuff. Tua's been beat up all week. Let's move on. Everybody's talked this out. I hope we're past this. If you felt you were called out and you're mad at him, I hope everybody's over this, and let's get zoned in on the Browns. It's a game we can win. Let's zone in on that. But if this stuff continues, and tonight, again, this afternoon, Woody, we got more stories and more stuff coming out, and there's more definition of what the meetings are, the player-only meeting. I'm sick of them. One thing about it, man, we get on some topic down here, right? Too deep. We beat too deep up. The guys that started this game in NFL, they were coming out of their graves ready to kick somebody's ass. They heard about too deep so much. Like, stop it. Stop the too deep. What's another word we've just hammered? What is the other word? Well, give me a couple other ones there.
So you had 2D.
The narrative.
Oh, they did the narrative.
Oh,
yeah,
the narrative. And once the coach started the narrative,
the reset's been a big one.
It's like your kid at home. You say the F word, and next thing you know, the kid's throwing F-bombs all over the place.
What about reset? I would throw in there. Leadership kills me, though. That's the one that really bothers me.
Well, listen, man. You know what?
Man,
you know what great
reset,
leadership is?
We need a reset from this whole thing.
We need the best leadership is guys that play really well in football games. That's the best leadership you can have.
Like I said, Joe,
you know what?
All the time. I don't cover any other teams, so I couldn't tell you this, but I can't imagine other teams are spending this much time talking about leadership. And
well, I got to tell you, if there's a team that's got a little bit of what we have, because not everybody's happy about the quarterback situation with the Browns right now. There's people who think Dylan Gabriel shouldn't be playing. And
yeah, but you don't want to be in conversations with the Browns.
No.
Except
I just said
your playoff streak is longer than the Browns.
Oh no, we own that. Haven't won a playoff game. We own that. The Lions had that, and they took care of it. Dan Campbell took care of that, so they're done. We're by ourselves.
Today will be fun though, man, because QB1 gets up to talk, and
I don't know if he talks today. Is today?
Well, Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
I think so. But he's due for something, right? He has trouble, man. He really has a lot of trouble. I think Perk was right on when he said he's tone deaf, and he was right. He's like, Tua's not a bad guy, which he's not. He's just tone deaf. He just doesn't get it.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. You're right.
He's a harmless guy. He just wants to,
I've
do his
been
own
told
thing.
He's an introvert, which is fine. A lot of guys are introverts that play really well. But I got to tell you, please, before you decide to add something to the conversation, can you just, I don't know, it's just, he'll say, and by the way, he walks away. I don't think he has any idea, like, you just became the lead story in football. Hey, that comment right there, we're not even worried about what happened in the last 3 plays of the game. Unbelievable comeback the Chargers just had on the return, a catch and run and a kick. Let's talk about that. Well, I'll tell you what. Unbelievable.
It is unusual how much he struggles for a quarterback when he gets up there. And even Aaron Rodgers went and talked, and he says crazy stuff. But, I mean, at least he's
his
just
stuff,
better.
though.
Like, his stuff's out there.
His stuff's out there, but it's okay.
You hear what he said? He said he went out west to see, like, a body guru that he has.
Oh, no. Are you not surprised? Like, right?
No, I'm not surprised.
One day he's in
out
a cave,
there.
in a dark cave, and then he's going out to sea. And I wonder if he took the make-believe wife out there with him, or she's staying away.
Still has not surfaced.
No. Hey, it is truck.
You nailed that one, man. You nailed that thing.
I think you're with me now.
Because TMZ gets everything. Right? They would if he was really married.
If she put her head out the window to say, goodbye, Aaron, have a great day at work, or waved at him through a window, TMZ would have that. That's very valuable stuff right now. Does Aaron Rodgers?
Got to be some evidence out there, right?
Does Aaron Rodgers have? By the way, nobody even talks about it. God bless him that he's been able to put that fire out. That's because Pittsburgh just wants to win games. Hey, right now, hell, I do too, though. At that good point there, I think we all want to just win a game. It's Truck Month. It's your South Florida Chevy dealers. Man, Truck Month is special when you talk about Chevy trucks. Boy, they're the big daddies. They really are, man. And if you're looking for a truck, working truck, weekend truck, are you just a truck person and that's just the way it is, man? We got the durable Colorado with its standard Turbo Max engine and impressive torque. Everything you need for South Florida, really. But it's Silverado 1500. Boy, I'll tell you, ready, steady, and strong, delivering all the power you could ever want with its advanced technology for the workday workhouse. Not only that, workhorse, and also for the weekend warrior. Silverado HD, boy, you'll love the confidence there. Legendary horsepower and one of the hardest working beds in the business. Hey, whether it's midsize, full size, or heavy duty truck, Chevy pickups, man, we got one absolutely perfect for your lifestyle. See your South Florida Chevy dealers today for outstanding offers going on right now. And good morning to everybody out there. Hanging in there, man. We got a lot of football left, college and pro. I'll tell you what, when I had a couple of Saturdays and Sundays off here, first time ever, had back-to-back Saturday and Sundays off. First time. The way the schedules worked out from a Thursday night, and then we came back 2 weeks later with that Monday night, and man.
Now they're sticking it to you. You got a trip to Cleveland here.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, I just really enjoyed my weekends. People are calling. I go, no, I'm good, man. I really got to sit and.
There's nothing better than and
so good.
I know people like going to Dolphins games or whatever, but there's nothing better than sitting back and watching Red Zone on a Sunday.
It takes a while to get used to, though, if you're kind of watching one game and you really care about one game and everything. So I get. I mean, there's a place for both things. I do get you. Now, if you're just a fantasy football head and don't care,
or a parlay guy.
Or that you're watching, yeah, whatever.
It's just fun. It's like
whatever form of gambling we're talking about, Woody.
They do a really good job of covering all the games, so it's like you don't feel like you're disconnected from the games, or you still can feel like you're along with the the storyline of each game. I think.
Yeah. Well, listen, man.
And not that the Dolphins games, Joe. To be quite honest, I know you call them, so they're not always the most exciting team to watch.
No, they've got periods where. They
play a lot of bad football.
That third quarter is incredible. They flipped around the fourth quarter the way they did. That third quarter was, Woody, we may never hear those numbers again. Minus 11 yards to 155 yards.
You got to call that stuff, huh?
And you're going, wow, wait a second. We came out of a halftime working on adjustments, and we just got kicked around like that. Anyway, I'll tell you what, though, the league's got some great stories going on, and there are some cities that are really excited right now, and probably none more than one in the AFC East, and it's not the Jets. It's the Patriots, who are in first place in the AFC East. Woody, I thought they'd be better. They didn't win a lot of games last year. They had one of the top picks. They besides being in first place now, winning 3 straight games, I think they're 3-0 on the road. I think they've lost a road game. They beat the Bills. They beat us. So they're off to a great start in the AFC East. Winning those head-to-head games are just huge.
Took them a while, man, since the whole Brady and Belichick.
How many years, man? It didn't seem that long.
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah, no.
Since Brady left? I mean, he played,
Brady,
3 years in
Tampa? Brady
in
Tampa Bay. 3? And then what's he been out? 1 or 2? I think he's been out. You're right. It's probably been 5 years.
Got to be more than that by now, right?
I think this is the third year he's been out of Tampa Bay. I don't know, man. Time's flying. Time is flying, but for the Patriots, they got to feel pretty good. And especially, I don't know, Woody. I like Drake May. Some were kind of questioning him early in the year.
2019 he played. It was last year for the
well, it has
Patriots. He played he was 42 in his last season with the Patriots.
Yeah, but he put 3 with Tampa Bay. But
3 with Tampa, 43, 44, and 45 he played with Tampa.
How bad is that if you're the Patriots and Belichick? And I know Bill's got too big ego to ever come out.
This guy missed like no games, too.
And
you're really amazing.
You're watching Tom Brady just tear it up with Tampa Bay. Remember when the coach just turned the offense about halfway through his first year? I go, Tom, what do you want to do? We don't know. There's not anybody on this coaching staff or any of the players have done what you've done. What works? And Tom goes, here, let me take it. And they went on, and hell, they won more games during that time in the playoffs, those 3 years, than they won the history of that franchise, just about.
Brady's just different, though, man. We'll never see another guy like that. I don't think you'll ever see a guy play into his mid-40s at that kind of a level.
But I will tell you,
I know Aaron Rodgers is getting close, but he's not at that level.
They might have hit on their number 1 pick and the quarterback.
Drake May?
Might
yeah, he looks pretty good, huh?
Might have hit.
Well, it's not so hard after all, I guess, huh?
Well, it is, actually.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams.
Can be done, I guess, is what I should
There's
say.
a lot of teams, including the 2 teams playing this Sunday. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? So Woody, we got all kinds of. We do have some good news though. We have this Canes football team, and number 2 in the country, but just look so balanced in everything. I know he thought they were going to be balanced. We didn't know a lot about the new defensive coordinator. Look, he was doing a really good job where he was. And so they go, hey, this is the guy we need. But they hit on the transfer portal in a big way. Again, the development of the players, the bounce back by the way of Mesidor and Ruben Bain, they didn't look anything like this last year for a lot of reasons. So I'm aware of everything, the injuries early against the Gators and stuff. Both of them dropped some weight. So now I feel comfortable. Let me please just play defensive end and stop moving me inside. Added some depth, and some guys got better. But boy, a lot of this has got to go to that transfer portal. They hit on a lot of guys. A lot of guys are having really, really good years. Really good years. I'm talking about the recent transfer portal, not the guys that came in a couple years ago. I'm talking about what they've been able to get in their secondary to add to this group. And Toure has been fantastic. You can just go on and on about both sides of the ball. I wasn't sure about the receivers. By the way, there wasn't anybody out there. And I know what the folks at American Heritage Plantation said. He's going to go in and start right away. And I said, slow down. Then we went to practice, Woody, and I went, uh-oh. The day we were at practice, the 2 best receivers that they had were 2 guys that should have still been in high school. Moore and Malachi. The day I was there, how many takeoffs did Moore catch? 3 or 4 one-on-one drills, team. He was running by everybody. I was like, good God. And he's 6'3", kid out of West Broward. Going to be special. Got to keep him. Got to keep him happy with a big smile on his face. But the other guy that was ready to go day one, I mean, you talk about one guy that didn't miss a beat. And every so often you get these guys. They jump right from high school. They come into spring football, and then the season starts, and you're going, this can't be. This guy didn't hit the wall. And it's Malachi Toney. Malachi Toney is not the biggest guy. He's not the fastest guy. He's not going to win any track meets. He's not. He went on the American Heritage Plantation relay team, which, by the way, every year is one of the fastest teams in anywhere. But I got to tell you, pure football, catching, instincts, physical, blocking, his maturity, like, no, I'm not here to wait. I know there's some other guys who've been here on the team for a while, but I'm about ready to take that slot job and that motion. He's smart. Just incredible what he's doing. Now, we got some other freshmen are helping out and coming in and playing some. I don't want to take away from them, but this guy's come in, and I don't want to take away from CJ, who's also off to a great start, transfer portal guy out of LSU, but this Malachi Toney, Woody, that's not normal. You know, last year, the stories at American Heritage Plantation, just because I have friends over there, they had Diabell went down, and they didn't have a quarterback. That guy lined up a quarterback. They didn't lose another game. Malachi Toney. He went in and didn't suit up for a game because he was hurt. Diabell got hurt. He put his uniform back on and went out and played quarterback. I mean, the stories about this guy and what he has done are incredible. And he had one call back. Was that last game or no? A couple games ago.
No, I think it was.
It was that last game. It was last game.
Yeah, it was the illegal motion play, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's right up there, man, with the best of countries got going.
He is shifty. He's so quick on his feet. His instincts, catches the ball really, really well. But he got something upstairs that his maturity level, Remember, he had that birthday. He was doing a lot of this at 17. I know he's now
Yeah.
18. We were laughing. He's old enough to drive now and stuff, joking around.
So what happens when you outplay your contract in college? Because we know what happens in the NFL, right? When you outplay your contract, you start renegotiating.
Why do you always go to the side?
I'm
I was
just-
doing so good just saying, you got to throw in the money in their problem. Joe wants to punch you in the face right now. No, seriously. He truly doesn't.
I don't get a cut off the renegotiation.
You are unbelievable. I'm sure somebody, on the marketing team is going to say, hey, he had a good year and he's got 2 more years eligibility. Do you want him, or you're going to let him to go to one of the other 30 schools? Yeah. I think Malachi's pretty damn happy right here. Getting to go home, see mama, everything. It's good. All right, we got to go to break here, man. You are unbelievable. You just literally, I got a nice party. I'm feeling good about Friday night, and you decide you got to go off the road. That's just you, man. That's you on a dark cloud. It's raining in there, folks. Baptist Health South Florida. Oh my gosh, what a sports medicine program, man. So good. I'm telling you right now, man, when it comes to sports medicine and having any kind of injury and knowing you're going to the best, we're talking about the sports medicine program, one of the top 50 in the country, the Baptist Health South Florida has put together, taking care of Inter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, the Miami Dolphins, FAU, FIU, great team doctors, our top specialists. You can't be tops in the business unless you have specialists for every part of the body that can be injured. Knee, anything with the knee, shoulder, foot and ankle, hand, back specialist, hip and knee replacement, Achilles. I just go on and on about these doctors, man. But we got great facilities too, starting at Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium right next to the training facility. And Broward, this one is so easy to get to, 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. The pineapple is alive and well out there. Just visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One go every day. One go every day. Whether you're in team sports or individual sports, you're competitive, you get injured, Baptist Health South Florida, let them take care of you.
And now, it's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody, what do you have for us today?
All right, Joe, we're talking about money in college football.
You're redoing deals today.
Well, how about this deal? We know that Penn State had to pay James Franklin almost $50 million to walk.
Yeah.
Looks like they are eyeing Marcus Freeman perhaps as their next head coach. If you're unaware, he is the coach of Notre Dame and has done a very good job over there.
He has. Got him to the big game last year, man. Got him to the finals.
Penn State says they will be sparing no expense in their hire here. I have no idea.
Those Catholic priests are going to have to make a tough decision. They do have a good coach, though. And by
I'm
the
guessing
way,
Notre Dame's not going to get outbid by anyone. But.
You know, you watch him on TV and you go, I want my kid to play for him.
Yeah, he is. Yes, for a scumbag program, he's a very likable
coach.
How about this one? Speaking of likable coaches, Joe, I know he was a little rough for us down here, but Lane Kiffin, he's going to go against his nemesis Kirby Smart here. And did you happen to hear what he had to say?
No, not.
All right, check this one out.
Off the wall question: you and Kirby, probably some of the more demonstrative coaches on the field. Who do you think burns more calories in a game, you or him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I walked by the TV and saw his press conference today, so it doesn't look like he's burned too many calories. But he does have a lot of energy in the games, and he coaches really passionate. And I've given him heat before about the weight loss part. He says he's too stressed to work out.
Pretty good stuff there.
Lane, even I watched the documentary, is really good. The Lane Kiffin documentary actually made him likable. He's a hell of a coach. We all agree he's a good coach.
Yeah, he's a very good coach.
He's taking that Ole Miss thing. I guess his daughter ended up, he's about ready to bolt from that if you're watching that documentary and take off. But
I saw him with some girl the other day. I don't know if it was his daughter,
whether he's drinking or not, he's going to say stuff, man.
Yeah, some good-looking women around.
He gave up.
Yeah.
He gave up drinking.
Okay. Whatever.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me to.
No one likes a quitter, bro.
Give up the tequila.
Let's keep it moving here in the WNBA Finals. Drew 1.5 million viewers on average here over. I guess they only played 4 games.
I don't know what
I was not one of them. I don't know if you care or watch.
I didn't watch.
No. Anything. No,
can't watch everything. No, I'm being
dead
watch
serious. Everything. You just choose.
No, you're trying to get me to take a shot.
I am not trying to get. That's the last thing I want to, because that will get you canceled. We know that.
It had nothing to do with that. It just, like, everybody's got their favorite sports. There's a zillion of them on, especially this time of the year. Everything's being played.
You don't like basketball all of a sudden?
I love basketball.
Let's just do fantasy football.
Smart ass. You really are trying to get me on. You're trying to get me in timeout now.
Yeah. You're immune to timeouts, apparently. Fantasy football reports on WQAM are sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason, distilled 6 times, so it's just right. Tito's is known for great vodka, giving back and doing good for dogs. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Put a little cranberry in that bad boy.
They would love this place, by the way. This place is like a pet store when everyone comes into work. They would love it here.
Is today dog day? Is today bring your dog to work?
They were really bummed out because they found out they got to work 3 days a week now.
Oh,
they threw Wednesday in there now. So yes, today is a dog day. Can't leave your dog at home,
no.
Bro. Come on now.
Nope.
All right, let's get into it. Week 7 running backs. Jonathan Taylor taking the top spot. Bijan Robinson gets the 2 spot. CMC at 3. Devon Achane at 4. Josh Jacobs at 5. Checking in at number 10, Quinshawn Judkins, who you say is going to have a big week here.
I said, uh-oh. Yeah. What, second round pick out of Ohio State? Big guy.
Yes, he is a big guy. He had a little trouble the beginning there.
I don't think he's worried about troubles right now. Dolphins
No.
are worried about another problem, not his problem in the offseason. No.
So I hear. All right, quarterback rankings for Week 7 here: Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Drake May, putting up big numbers, running and throwing, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts at 5. Baker Mayfield does come in at 6. We scroll all the way down to number 23, where we find Tua, Dylan Gabriel at 24, Bryce Young at 25.
Okay.
So Tua's in good company down there at the bottom.
All right.
At least he's on the list. The list ends at 25, so at least he made the list.
You think Tua's dreading today? Like, if he does speak today or tomorrow, I'm not sure. Do you think he's like, or does he?
I honestly, like, if you strapped him up to a
probably-
lie detector, I don't think he cares. I truly don't. I believe him when he says he doesn't care.
I think you're right. I think he's like, look at, I don't know what happened, but
And
I really
I
don't
go
care.
back to what Perk said. I don't think he's mean-spirited. I just think he's oblivious and just doesn't care. He's like, let me just go out there, play my crappy brand of football, go home, and just leave me alone.
So do you think, like, if he thought one or two teammates were not happy about what he said,
I don't.
he
really,
would just
really
like,
don't think it bothers
I don't have time
him.
to worry about you either. Okay.
Do you think it bothers him?
Yeah, usually if, it's just came out wrong.
Well, this is fantasy football time.
Go ahead,
what
please.
Are you doing? We got to talk about relevant players for this. Week 7 wide receiver rankings. Amon-Ra St. Brown gets the Bucks on Sunday, so that comes in at number 1 there. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's been a great story for Seattle.
Yep,
he's been a monster.
Seattle's
numbers.
got a nice team.
CeeDee Lamb checks in at 3. We'll see if he comes back. He's got the little Q next to his name there, so he's still questionable.
How about his sidekick? He's been pretty good, huh?
Yeah. JJ at 4. Devontae at 5. Let's find our Dolphins here. Jalen Waddle comes in at 11.
Okay. Jalen's had good numbers the last 2 weeks.
Rashee Rice, his suspension is up. He didn't kill anyone, just severely injured. So he's at 17.
This is his first week back?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember, they were only hurt, not dead. So he, gets
I know you're joking about it. No, you're half joking about it, but you're
No, I
telling
think
the
what
truth.
he did is despicable. But anyway, nonetheless, he
Well,
is,
how long
he
should
is,
he be out, Woody? Are you
Well,
okay that he's back now?
It's tough for me because he is on my team. We've been kind of stashing him there. So the sooner the better, to be quite honest. But he comes in at 17 there, Joe. So
Okay.
he will make his triumphant return this weekend. And then finally, let's get you to defense. Steelers come in at number 1. They got Cincinnati. The Chiefs have Vegas coming at 2. The Broncos get the Giants at 3. Although the Giants have been pretty feisty. The Browns come in at number 10. Dolphins at 17. But at least they're on there.
I'm guessing we're in for another tight ball game.
This is not going to be a high-scoring game, though, right?
Should not be, no. I would.
Somebody will win this game 3-0.
Off of what you've seen, this could be a field goal special, yes. Turnovers, whoever, sets you up.
Turnovers.
You hate turnovers.
No, I don't hate them.
You almost feel like
I just don't love them the way you and Don Bailey Jr. love them.
I saw a team, Chicago should have never won that game except for that last turnover. Can't turn it over, especially in the fourth quarter. Never good in tight ball games. All right, Woody.
Someone said you seem disappointed in Dog Day. Maybe you want to bring that fat-ass cat to work. Instead of Fat Tuesday, you get Fat Cat Tuesday.
One thing about my cat, he'd just come here. He doesn't move a lot. He'd be just fine. He wouldn't be bothering anybody. The cat would just sit here, give him a little food, a little water. He'd be fine. Yeah. The cat's doing great. He's the happiest 25-pound cat you've ever seen.
Yeah, they say that it's not good for them. Like, they're not happy.
He seems happy. I know we've heard that before, and I know I wish my wife and daughter would get together and try to figure out you can't both feed the cat 3 times a day, that they can get real big.
They have weight loss foods, though.
But he's happy.
Yeah.
He is a happy cat.
You feed a lot of people food?
By the way, he does not.
No people food.
Not interested. None.
Not interested?
Nothing. Just what he gets. By the way, he's getting good stuff now. He's getting whatever the good stuff is for cats. Oh, come on.
Do you buy the dry food or do you go
He
to
gets
like
both?
Do you go into so I seen this at the pet store. They have the food in the fridges in the front
He
where
gets
it's
that.
like human grade food for animals.
Yeah. He gets good stuff, man.
Yeah.
He's a dry food guy, though. He likes the old dry food.
Well, everyone's coming in with their animals today. You can bond with
I
them.
got to tell you, the other night we're in bed on a weekend and we hear bam, bam, bam. She goes, something's hitting our door, our bedroom door. And I go, it's a cat. He's hungry. She goes, no way. That can't be. You think it's the air conditioning or something? I go, boom, boom. It keeps hitting the door. About the 5th time. I mean, hitting it hard with the, head. Not scratching, just pounding the head. 25 pounds is pretty good. She got him. She goes, oh, my God. It was the cat. It was Billy the cat. The big boy was friggin' hungry and wasn't wasting any time. We got to go to break. 8 o'clock hour is coming up. We're going to do some college football. Oh, my gosh. We're going to go to Brett McMurphy. Get caught up on those Canes right after this.
Hyundai, DoralHyundai.com. Starting with the Panthers, who will be in Detroit tonight to take on the Red Wings. The puck drops at 7, and the game can be heard on 104.3 WQAM. Over to the Heat, who will host their red, white, and pink scrimmage tonight at the Kaseya Center. Tip-off is at 6:30, and that game can be heard on 560 AM. And in baseball, the Dodgers took a 2-0 series lead over the Brewers with a 5-1 win. The Joe Rose Show continues now. And it is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com.
All right, Brett McMurphy on 3 Sports College Football Insider joins us this morning as Miami Hurricanes sitting at number 2 behind Ohio State. Friday night game against a very good Louisville team. As we say good morning. Brett, how you doing, bud?
Hey, good morning, Joe. How you doing?
We're doing great, man. Everybody's excited. It looks like Mario's team is he thought it was pretty well rounded at both sides of the football, and it's looking that way. I've been surprised how good the front 7 defensively has been. Has there been any surprises with this team with the Canes?
I mean, from what I thought going into the preseason, the offense is better than I thought. I thought it would be more balanced. I thought, kind of what we talked about, it would, I knew the defense would be much better. I mean, it couldn't have been any worse after last year. But I thought there would be a little dip offensively. But offensively, I've been really impressed with the way Carson Beck has played. And basically, they've done a nice job complementing each other. And, I think the offensive and defensive lines for Miami are kind of what separates them from most teams in the country. And that's why I think Miami's got a good chance to go a long way in the playoff, is because of those offensive and defensive lines. And obviously Ruben Bain is, when people say somebody's arguably the best this or that, there's no argue. He is the best defensive player in the country. And we do a Heisman, our little Heisman poll every week at On 3, about 10 of us, and we list our top 10 players and put it all together. And, Ruben Bain consistently is in the top 5 on our Heisman ballot. Do I think he can win it? Probably not, just because he's a defensive player and there's a lot of really good quarterbacks out there, including Carson Beck. But certainly he's the only defensive player that's on our ballot every week. And he's been incredible starting that first game with Notre Dame and ever since then.
Yeah, he is unbelievable getting a quarterback. Hey, so I got to ask you about that quarterbacks. I thought overall this quarterback class, the NFL is going, next year's class is going to be really special, and I was kind of excited to start, and it didn't get off to a great start for Arch Manning, who not everybody, a lot of people in the media were struggling, but there's a lot of guys that were supposed to be really good that have really struggled. Not saying it's all their fault. What do you think of this quarterback class potentially that has a chance to turn pro after this college season?
Well, I think, that's obviously two different things. I obviously the hype surrounding Arch Manning, I mean, that was ridiculous. And, he didn't deserve that. And it's unfortunate because he didn't ask for that.
No, he didn't.
Got it. And there's no way he could live up to all that. And you've heard a lot of people say, hold on a second, what are we looking at for next year with the quarterback class? I mean, it doesn't look really good. I mean, it's a lot of really good college quarterbacks like Dante Moore at Oregon, I think is good. We've talked about Fernando Mendoza. I mean, talking about the Heisman, he's a Miami kid. If Indiana goes undefeated and the way Penn State's playing, that was supposedly their toughest remaining game. Indiana goes 12-0 and gets to the Big Ten title game. Fernando Mendoza is going to be in New York.
Yeah.
I don't care what the numbers are. The numbers don't matter for the Heisman, but as far as, NFL, it doesn't look really good right now. But I mean, things can change. You never know. Everyone's kind of nitpicky at this point. But there are a lot of good college quarterbacks, if you will, at the top teams. Whether that transfers at the NFL level, we got to wait and see.
So James Franklin, we're doing the game, and I'm working with a Penn State guy, and Jimmy Cefalo. He goes, "Oh boy, he's out, and they're going to eat that contract." And I'm thinking, boy, if James Franklin's in trouble, what's going to happen with Billy Napier and Mike Norvell, who's also now 3-3 with after that great win against Alabama? He's lost all 3 ACC games. How's it look? Do both those guys in your gut, will they both be back next year at Florida and Florida State?
No, I don't think Napier will be. I mean, if he wins, if either one wins out, and obviously I don't think Norvell needs to win out, but I think Napier needs to win out. Then he could be back. But realistically, do I think Florida's going to win out? They have Mississippi State this week, should be able to handle the Bulldogs, and then an off week, and then you go Georgia, at Kentucky, who's not very good, and then at Ole Miss, Tennessee, and then FSU. I don't know if he even gets that far. I think everyone's looking at the open date before Georgia is like, well, if you're going to do something, now's the time to do it. I think their mind has already been made up. They had the big win against Texas, which is, good. But then you look at on the road, and then next week at Texas A&M. And look, Texas A&M's a top 5 team, but still, Florida loses that game, and Billy drops to 0-14 in his career at Florida on the road against ranked teams away from Gainesville. So, do you wait until the Georgia game, or do you pull the trigger before then? I don't know. As far as Mike Norvell and Florida State, you're right. He's, it's unfortunate, man. His birthday was Saturday the day of the Pitt game. Yeah. And I forgot how old he was, but I guess I mention out the birthdays and stuff I tweet that out at, each guy's birthday. Right. And somebody had, I forgot his age, 54, maybe 51. I can't remember, but they said, he turned 54 on Saturday. And, the last time he won an ACC game was when he was, 2 years younger. Which is sad, but it's true. They had the winless year last year. And, it's a tough place right now. And, they go at Stanford, they should win that, but, you're going out West. It's, the time zone differences, the Big Ten teams haven't fared well with that. Well, Florida State. And then, you've still got Clemson remaining at NC State, at Florida. I think Cal Norvell finishes the season will determine that. I don't think there's been a decision made either way with Florida State. But besides that, Joe, I think in Florida, I think this, I know, you guys ever made your way up to Tampa for the state fair, and I don't know if you've ever gotten on that super Himalaya ride, but that's what the coaching carousel is going to look like, because it's going to be spinning that fast, because we've already had the openings of what we have now. And if things go right, or I guess go wrong for these certain teams, Florida State, Auburn, Wisconsin, North Carolina, South Carolina. Ooh. Heck, you could even have ranked LSU or Oklahoma could make coaching changes if they go, go into a slump the second half of the season. So it's going to be a wild second half of the season. And, if Penn State can pull the plug on Franklin, who's only, done things at Penn State that haven't happened in the last 35 years as far as success and everything he's done there, then certainly these other schools, they don't have to pay $49 million, may want to, pull the plug off.
Yeah. Boy, it's going to be a crazy offseason or towards the end of the season. Hey, Brett, I got to ask you about this Belichick thing. I don't know if he called during game day, but they made it sound like Kirk Herbstreit received a call or a text, and he wanted to tell everybody that I'm all in on the future, and this is all BS that everybody's reporting, and I'm committed. And you know, he had all the guys on the show were all supporting him and saying the right things, and Nick Saban's good friends with him. And look, I just have one thing about Bill Belichick. Is he at 73 years old going to make a commitment? It's not game day. It's not practices. It's all that friggin' recruiting and jumping on a friggin' plane and going all over the country to see 4- and 5-star players kissing their ass, ready to offer them money, and all the things you have to do that Mario Cristobal is absolutely king of kings. I don't see Bill Belichick being motivated to do that in all his spare time. Do you?
I think it's unlikely for somebody who's that age to do that. But, you know, I think he wanted to come to college to prove that he could still coach, which sounds weird for everything he's accomplished. But I think the fact that he wasn't able to get an NFL job, you know, it inspired him. It motivated him to say, okay,
right,
I'll come to the college ranks. I'll do what Saban did. You know, Nick can do it. They're close. I'll do the same thing. And then I think everyone's been shocked at how poorly it's gone. I mean, it's been it's a dumpster fire. My sincere condolences if I offended any dumpster fires out there, but it's been really bad. I mean, you know, you talk about the Sports Illustrated jinx. He's on the cover of U.S. Weekly with his 24-year-old girlfriend, and they haven't won a game since then. So I guess there's a new jinx in sports now. The U.S. Weekly cover, I mean, look, you know, I think there's been a billion reports out there about Belichick. You know, I think there was probably another one this morning, so it's 1,000,000,001. So I take some of that with a grain of salt whenever you see a lot of people quoting anonymous people. But certainly, you know, something's not right in Denmark. Will he decide to stay? Will he stay? You know, we'll have to find out. I think how they finish the end of the season will determine it. And one thing I think kind of you know, there's so many narratives out there, and everyone's like, well, it's his first year. He's coming in. He's getting things done his way. They're the guys that pick these players, you know. So if they don't have that good of players, then maybe they didn't evaluate these guys well, or maybe that's all that was left over. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, my alma mater, Oklahoma State, they don't, you know, Mike Gundy got fired, you know, wasn't winning enough. Well, was he a bad evaluator of players coming out of the portal, or was that basically the best they could get? I don't know. So that's, I think, a question that needs to be asked at North Carolina. Is it, could you have gotten better players? Did you think these players could play? And if you did, you know, then you misjudged their talent. Or if they are able to play, then they're severely being, you know,
poorly coached,
badly coached, poorly coached. Yeah, you nailed it.
It's it's a really interesting one. But Nick Saban was such a hard worker. Like, not only was he a great coach on game day, but the guy, he'd recruit. I mean, he had helicopters all over South Florida here. We called him Helicopter Man. I mean, the guy gets after the recruiting. You know, he right till the end there, I don't think he didn't mind the recruiting. I just think when the money got a little crazy, Nick just realized it was a great neutralizer. Maybe it was time to get out. Do you agree with that?
I do part of that. I mean, I think though, when you say that, I think it's kind of disrespectful is the wrong word, but I don't really think it's a totally fair assessment. I think more because it's almost like, you know, you're saying, well, he had this advantage, and then once that advantage was gone, he decided, oh, I want to get out. I don't want to compete anymore. Maybe there's a small part of that, but knowing how competitive he is, I don't buy that. I think it's more, and he's talked about this. He did things one way. You know, Mario does things one way. and that's a billion miles an hour. And once he realized at this stage in his life to do things at that level, he just, physically couldn't. Age,
Yeah, I
we
get
hate
it.
to admit it,
Yeah.
it slows you down. You get to that point where you realize, hey, I can't do what I want to do at the level I want to do. I can't continue that commitment. I just can't. Then, I think that probably played a bigger part. And also, a lot of it is, my God, he's accomplished, everything you could accomplish.
Yeah, he's done it all. He's done it all.
Yeah,
You're right.
so you do want to go out on top. A lot of guys stick around and just keep doing it and half-assing it until finally they're said, hey, okay, we've had enough. It's time for you to go. That wasn't going to be the case with Saban.
Brett, it's always great talking to you, man. This Canes thing is going to be fun to see what happens. What do you expect, by the way, Friday night with Louisville in town? I know they're big favorites against Louisville. What do you think?
Yeah, this I think Miami's a 2-touchdown favorite. I think it's probably going to be closer than that. I still think obviously Miami's the better team. I think Louisville actually won the last time in Miami. So, can they pull off another upset? I don't think it's doubtful, but again, one thing that has kind of jumped up and bit Miami in the past is they've lost some games they weren't supposed to lose.
Right.
Certainly the games from last year, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, that kept them out of the playoff. Can they avoid those stumbles in the second half of the season? The good news is Miami's built up so much equity. They don't have to go 13-0 to get in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
12-1 gets them in. You get the 2 losses. Now you're kind of putting your fate in the hands of the committee. I still think Miami would be in great position at 10-2, but now you may be opening on the road in the playoff instead of getting that first round bye. So obviously you want to keep stacking up wins. I think it'll be a good game. Now, obviously everyone will be watching on Friday night, but Louisville does, hasn't
some
played
good
a
players,
strong
man.
schedule, but Louisville does actually have a better defense numbers wise than the Hurricanes, but they got nobody like Mr. Bain on the field. That's for sure.
Brett, thank you, buddy. Always nice talking to you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it, guys. Thanks.
All right. Brett McMurphy, On 3 Sports College Football Insider, joining us. Michael Kotze joins us every day, too. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Man has no life because he's always working to get you a mortgage quickly. That's what it's all about, man, is getting you a mortgage quickly. You need it, whether you're a first-time home buyer, you want to get the process started. Well, this is what Michael Kotze does. It's about great service and the ability to get you a mortgage half the time of the big banks, get you the best rates right now in the 5s. That's right, fixed rates in the 5s right now. Whether you're self-employed and you've been declined by the banks, or you're a first-time home buyer, or, hey, listen, debt consolidation's another big one. Boy, you need cash and need to put all that debt together and get some stuff paid off. Hey, Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage can do it for you. He really can. Hey, the other program real quickly too is a program for seniors. Convert your home equity into money. You're sitting there in that same house for 20, 25 years. If you're 62 or older, got it paid off or just about paid off and could use some of that money right now, Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage can get that done for you. The man's doing it all with great rates and great service for you at Choice Mortgage. Hey, he's always working 7 days a week. Call or text him and find out. 561-441-2730. 561-441-2730. 30-plus years in the business. MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change. Daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
Sports Talk on WQAM is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. And Joe, can I fill people in on our newest contest here?
Yeah, what do you have?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame members Rush just announced their 50-something tour. And we've got a chance for you and a guest to win a flyaway to see them at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Prize includes tickets to the show, round-trip airfare, and a 2-night hotel stay. To enter, go to WQAM.com. This is a national contest.
All right, Woody. Sounds good, man. Hopefully we get a winner here. Hopefully. Maybe Lynn can add some more stuff, some more promotional stuff we have going on here.
Well, you have a meeting with him today, so hopefully you guys can,
hopefully. So you don't have to get in the middle.
I'm not in the middle.
Anyway.
Everything going all right, though?
Yeah.
You all right in the corporate world?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Brian Baldinger, Odyssey NFL Insider, going to join us while you're sitting your ass here. In
it's funny.
Oh, Woody.
He must just love driving in right now thinking, I got to meet with that guy today.
Is he really coming in?
That's what he said.
So he's coming in to see me.
He's got to meet with you. Yeah. The big horse.
The big horse. He's a big horse, man. He's a big horse. He's a big boss. Hey, so anyway, we've got a lot of stuff going on here. I want to mention this again before the Dolphins start back up to practice today and in meetings, coaches meetings, of course, to start with, probably team meetings. And I know the media's, our guys are all going out there, and they're not done. They're not done with this topic, and they want to hear more. And with the whole player-only meetings, and is it coaches are involved, and other guys go, no, the coaches aren't involved. If they're doing that, then we're not doing that. I mean, it's just whatever. Player-only meetings, I guess there's now, I find out there's different kinds of player-only meetings. We had them when you weren't playing well, and couple guys would stand up in the front and say, hey, you got something to say, but we got to start playing better. And, it's our team, and screw the coaches. We're doing it for us. And, all that stuff, and kind of rally all the guys around with each other and that stuff. I don't know if they ever worked or not. I can't remember. All I remember is like a bunch of really good football players making plays, and that's why we won games. But I don't know how much the meetings actually had to do with it. So now we have, after the coaches having their meetings, the players are staying around, and the players and people are telling, I think they're better when the players are doing them. I don't. 26 coaches, 27 coaches. They know what they want. A lot of them are really good coaches. They're going to do everything they can to make you successful. And then, if you got guys, veteran guys you can go to ask questions to help you, I'm sure it's helpful. But so these meetings,
So I know we're going to hear from some of your guys tomorrow, but this has got to be exhausting, especially to the old school guys.
Oh, my God.
Because I'm younger than you guys, obviously, and I just, this leadership and meetings and film. And
can we just put player-only meetings in timeout? If you're having them, have them privately. Don't try to come out and try to sell us like it's going to make you play better because you had 4 player-only meetings last week.
We should play a little game today. Every time someone says leadership, when they have their media availability, when they say the word leadership, you should have to take a shot. End up getting alcohol.
By the way, and the second part of this thing I always say about leadership, unless you're really good or really well respected, it's hard to be a leader. I always looked at Don Strock as a leader, even when Dan Marino was on the team and was, becoming MVP of the. I always looked at Don Strock as one of the leaders on our team. First of all, he just had, at that point in his career, he'd been in the league a long time, but he had such a good feel for everything, and he was great with young guys. Had the patience of a 5th grade teacher, man. I'm telling you, he could sit and he would explain things to you, and he could give you tough love, but in a good, hey, dude, hey, man, slow down a little bit,
Don't you have to have that makeup, though, to play that position at a high level?
Yeah, but so I'm big on the way we did it. We had a young, talented quarterback, but the backup, Don Strock came in one year. Dan Marino was hurt. And Strock came in the last 3 games of the regular season, said, Danny, get your knee healthy. I'll get there. And we went 3-0. We didn't miss a beat, ran the same offense, same thing. But it was just his.
What was Marino like when he came in?
I don't like.
Not to compare, take us back in time if you can.
He was like, the things he did made him an automatic leader of the team because he could do things that nobody else could do. Like, you were seeing things and people, wait a second, they've been telling me my whole life that somebody's in 3 deep, you can't throw between them because they're splitting up the field and they're 2 good athletes. And now he's throwing the ball between a corner and a safety in the middle of the field like it's no problem because of his quick release and strength of his and accuracy of his arm. And he could throw over the top. I mean, just this, all these things are issues right now were never an issue, obviously. So it's just a bad example. But Nat Moore was a great leader. Nat Moore was a great leader, man. Let me tell you, Nat Moore, Mark Duber, and Mark Clayton, nothing against the coaches, but those 2 guys,
yeah,
they listened to Nat Moore said, hey, do this on your route. Duper came in, and all he'd ever done is run track. All he knew how to do was run real fast in 100 meters and 200 meters. He came in here, had great hands, had really good hands, actually, and but played very little football. Nat had that guy running stutter and go and corner routes, and Clayton wasn't even a high draft pick, and those guys, those kind of guys like Strock and Nat Moore, their value was phenomenal to the team. They were leaders, man. And they go out and have a drink with you.
Yeah, but did they have to announce that they were leaders? Like, was it a constant conversation? Because that's what's so annoying about this team, and like it goes back to the offseason.
They didn't have to say anything.
And leadership councils and like all this crap.
They we just didn't.
It was just like known.
But I got to tell you, the other part of our team, we had a strong personality as a lead dog. That's just putting it nicely.
Yeah.
Don Shula was calling all the shots. He was calling the shots. He told the GM when to go to the restroom, when you could eat. I mean, he was running everything. And
just out of curiosity, like with Shula, if someone would have done what Tua did, where he kind of threw his team under the bus after a loss, like what would the reaction have been?
Shoes was really big, probably on keeping everything in house. Yes.
Yeah.
I've told the Dario Harris story a few times. He decided after games to make a comment like they're purposely not throwing me the football or something like that. Just something that was, and you were like, as soon as you heard it, sitting there, getting out of the shower, getting your clothes on, and I heard that next to him, and I went, oh boy, tomorrow's meeting is going to be an absolute shit show. That's all I could think of. It's going to get ugly. He's going to call guys out in the meetings. Now, whether it got out or not, I mean, he would say that's just not acceptable to the media, but they're going to have a conversation. And it wasn't going to be like, hey, you can't, we're in this together. Shoes was a former player, so he got the thing. But I just hope, without getting into old school versus now, because they have nothing in common, I get it, but can we just slow down on the player-only meetings? Can we stop? Can we just stop? Stop with all this stuff. Apparently there's different kind of player-only meetings to go over things, player meetings when you're not playing well, you get together as a team. Now I find out there's player-only meetings after your coaches have position meetings. Now you have meetings after the meetings, which, to be quite honest, we get old if you do it too much. I get we've only won 1 game, but let's not go too crazy on this thing. Anyway, yeah. By the way, if you're going to stand up, you better be well respected and you better be good for guys to listen to you. That's the other thing. Anyway, I want to take a second here. Brian Baldinger, Odyssey NFL Insider, is going to join us coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll talk to him. Want to talk about something, though, a lot of men go through. A lot of guys get caught off the road a little bit, if you know what I mean, like going through some tough times, right? And, hey, a couple of things happen, man. Wife walks out. You lose your job, things aren't going well with the kids, and you find yourself drinking a little too much and just off the road, man, and find yourself in a mental funk. Well, I got to tell you, Dr. Barry and the staff know how to deal with it at Recovery Unplugged. They can get you back out on the road. I'm telling you, they can make a game changer on the field for you. I'm talking about if someone you love is going through some mental health issues, Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health has a beautiful mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale. For 12 years, they've helped over 20,000 people heal with expert clinical team and innovative treatments like a ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. If you or someone you love needs a winning strategy, needs some help, call 954-737-4508. Whether it's you need it yourself and listening right now or somebody you really care about needs it, 954-737-4508. You can talk to Dr. Barry and his staff. Visit recoveryunplugged.com. Everyone deserves a great season in life. Recovery Unplugged, heal out loud. Hey, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. Brian Baldinger going to join us here in about 10 minutes from now. Talk to Baldy, our Odyssey NFL insider. Baldy's breakdowns.
Going to break down that run defense. See what he thinks about that.
I don't know. Is there anything? There's nothing else to really say except you got to keep playing the young guys. I know it's a broken record, but that's what you have, man. You got 6 guys. And really 5 because Zeke Biggers hasn't been playing. He's been inactive on the 53-man roster. But, hey, you got the five guys. It's no secret. I'll be the first to tell you. Cleveland Browns going to try to run the ball. They are going to try to run the ball. They don't want their rookie quarterback to drop back, Dylan Gabriel, and throw it 40 or 45 times in the game. They want to run the ball, and play great defense. Try to get some takeaways. And that's it. By the way, the only reason the Miami Dolphins are underdogs against this Cleveland Browns team, which has got lots of problems. Hell, they're having controversy on which rookie quarterback should start. There's a lot of people, obviously, around the country that want to see Sanders start over Gabriel. And then there's people going, oh, man, he's getting the crap knocked out of him. He's a tough guy. He should keep playing. So he's got 2 starts. He's going to have his 3rd start against the Dolphins. But they're favored because everybody thinks they're going to run for they're giving up an average of almost 170 yards a game, that they're going to be able to run for that. And if they do run again for a big day and control, that means time of possession. That means, chewing up the clock. And as long as they stay clean and don't turn it over while they're running the ball, they can have a good chance to win this game unless we stop them. And so it goes back to Anthony Weaver. Does he make adjustments again? And go from there. But that's the big difference in this game. It's not the Browns passing game. Hell, it's not that good. Their receivers aren't that good. Defensively, they are really good. They got some horses on defense. And the guy last year, Woody, that guy was unbelievable. In a game that meant nothing to the Browns, I got nothing but respect for their number 1 pass rusher and the way the guy was getting after a couple of sacks in the game a year ago. So that's it, man. That's going to be it. We got a lot of stuff to talk to Baldy about coming up here. We're going to get into everything, including all the surprises and the comebacks and the teams, the biggest surprise maybe in football. And, of course, we'll talk about the Miami Dolphins as well. We're going to have all that stuff coming up with Brian Baldinger here in just a few minutes. First, though, it is hurricane season. It's not over. It's not over. I see the noodles are still on some of the TV stations. They still got the noodles going all over the place. Hey, protect your home with Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing so you don't have to worry about whether we're going to get hit or not. All you can do, and nothing you can do about them, they hit, but you can protect your home. And I got to tell you, Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing, Chev and his team would love to take good care of you. You got an old leaky roof, replace your old roof now and pay later. Loctite Impact offers the highest quality roofing materials with lifetime warranty plus thousands of 5-star reviews. Save big on their legendary state-of-the-art Impact Windows and Doors. Impact Windows as low as $6 per window per month installed. Don't wait for the storm. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com or call 954-500-LOCK, covering all of South Florida and ready to take good care of you. Get the process started today.
This update is brought to you by Doral Hyundai, home of the price seats or lowest price. Visit us at Doral Hyundai or DoralHyundai.com. Starting with the Panthers, who will be in Detroit tonight to take on the Red Wings. The puck drops at 7, and the game can be heard on 104.3 WQAM. Over to the Heat, who will host their red, white, and pink scrimmage tonight at the Kaseya Center. Tip-off is at 6:30. That game can be heard on 560 AM. And in baseball, the Dodgers took a 2-0 series lead over the Brewers with a 5-1 win. The Joe Rose Show continues now. It is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com, where we are joined by Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider calls are brought to you by Nationwide for your insurance and financial needs. Nationwide is on your side, Joe.
All right, let's go right to them, man. We got the same old going on here in South Florida. Baldy, good morning. How you doing?
Hey, Joe, good morning. I'm doing well, buddy. Good to be with you.
Thank you, man. So we're now 1-5, and what do you see in general? What are people saying about the Dolphins, this Miami Dolphins team after the way they ended up losing in this last game?
Well, I mean, you know, they had two great drives in the fourth quarter to take the lead. You know, the touchdown by Waller with 52 seconds to go. You hope you can hold it, but so it was a good performance like that, Waller. But honestly, that run defense was just pathetic, Joe. You know, this Kamani Vidal has never started a game in his life, never gained more than 34 yards rushing in the 2 years he's been in the league. And he looks like he should be the rushing leader with running for 124 yards. And honestly, like they played pretty good run defense for the most part. They got good players. The run fits and the linebackers are a joke. And they're constantly, I don't know what they're doing, but the run fits destroyed them, you know, the other day. And, you know, Vidal gave them what they wanted. And you look, the Chargers, like a lot of other people, Joe, not alone, but I mean, they're playing 2 third-string tackles
right
in that game. And you would just think that, you know, with some of the guys they have off the edge, you know, you saw the throw by Herbert, you know, and then there's Chop Robinson and Jalen Phillips all over him, and he makes that throw with 34 seconds to go to, you know, set up the winning field goal. I mean, you got to get him to the ground, and they couldn't get him to the ground.
Yeah, it's the run defense. By the way, the Browns somehow are favored in this game by a couple of points this week.
Wow.
And I'm sure it's all because of run defense, right? It's just going back like, hey, I guess the Miami Dolphins, if we all know it because we talk about it every week, their game plan is to run the football with their rookie and see if they can run it inside, outside, like everybody else has done to them.
Yep. I mean, you know, just giving up those big runs. I mean, 3rd and 1, Joe, they're giving up a 34-yard run. And like, just not, you know, I mean, you just, yeah, I'm sure they anticipate the quarterback sneak from Herbert there, but I mean, you got to play defense and you got to be in. I mean, this defense, it shouldn't be difficult, Joe, but the linebackers are lost in where they're going, and they're getting gashed like that. And Cleveland's more than capable. This running back they're going to see this week is a whole lot better than the running back they saw last week. This Quinshawn Judkins is a good back. Kalani is, I mean, he's their 4th-team running back, and he's out there, you know, gashing him for 124 yards.
Yeah, we're seeing that every week, and it's a copycat league, and I'm guessing the Dolphins know what's coming. Hey, by the way, just to get past the drama, player-only meetings, I put a ban today on player-only meetings that this team talking about. They go, Joe, what about your player-only meetings? I go, I don't remember if they worked or not. I know we had a couple, but I can't even tell you who got up in front. I don't know. What happened when you had player-only meetings?
Yeah, I've been in my share of player-only meetings in 12 years, Joe, and my honest take is that you're never in trouble until you have a players-only meeting, and I don't believe they ever fix anything. Just going to work and working on your weaknesses and making sure you don't make same mistakes. And
right.
So, you got a young, inexperienced right side of the line over there. I mean, I just go to work and try to get things fixed. I mean, I don't believe in player-only meetings. I never really ever see them working. If you got to air some things out, you got to air some things out. But it doesn't guarantee any sort of wins the next week following them.
The other thing is, if you're the quarterback, I'm guessing if you say, yeah, we have player-only meetings and some guys didn't show up and other guys came in late, I wouldn't say that to everybody because that makes you look bad as one of the leaders of the team as a quarterback, a franchise quarterback. So I don't know,
I
man.
haven't seen that before, Joe.
Me neither. That was the first.
I haven't
point.
seen that.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can address certain situations, but I've never seen that after a game. I'm sure he's frustrated. They got the lead at the end, but I'm sure I just can't recall a quarterback publicly, making that kind of statement. And, to my knowledge, Tua's been a good leader, but that's not what a leader does.
No, I think even Mike had to step up there and say the next day that's not what you expect. Hey, by the way, Dylan Gabriel gets a start. What are your thoughts as he gets ready to start his third game with? Have you seen improvement? What have you seen from him?
Well, I mean, Pittsburgh was all over him. I mean, Cleveland was playing literally two third-team tackles out there, and Nick Herbig and TJ, those guys had their way with them, and you're a 5'9" quarterback, left-handed, and you can't see very well. I mean, you see what kind of happens sometimes. He gets the ball out quick. You see, he reminds me a lot of Tua. Not just because he's left-handed and he's short, but he gets the ball out. He's got a good arm. He's probably better armed than Tua, but he's got a good arm. They don't have very good receivers, and so they're very limited offensively. They got a lot of rookies playing all over the place, offense and defense, and they're trying to see what those guys can do right now.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, the NFL's got so many great stories, and none better than the three great comebacks of quarterbacks, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Daniel Jones. Not only are they having really good years, but they got three of the best teams in the NFL right now in Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Indy. How good are those stories?
They're great, Joe. I mean, there's three reclamation projects, and when you're drafted high like all three of those guys were, and you're with an organization that all they do is change coaches, GMs, fire coaches. They never build a stable organization around the quarterback. And then they leave and they go to places that are really stable, that know how to draft, know how to build a team, know how to spend their money. And then you see them flourish with really good play designs. And, last week, Baker Mayfield threw a touchdown pass to a kid I'd never heard of before, Joe. Cameron Johnson. I never heard of the kid ever. And, he's thrown a touchdown pass to him. Like, the quarterbacks are flourishing because everything around him is really good. And they're playing with supreme confidence. And all three of those teams are going to make the playoffs. And we'll see what happens then.
Hey, so I got Colts and Bucks have the two best records. We'll see if Pittsburgh can match it. They've got only one loss, but one less win. Is there a chance the Colts and the Bucks are the best team in the AFC and NFC besides their record? What your eyeballs tell you?
Well, the Bucks did lose to Philadelphia, and so it's every weekend's a different weekend. But they're over the course of 6 weeks now. They're at the top of the leaderboard. The Colts will play the Pittsburgh Steelers on November 2nd, Joe. So that's coming up in 2 weeks. They play there in Pittsburgh. That will probably determine a great deal about what's going on in the AFC.
Brian Baldinger here with us on QAM. Insider Calls are brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
All right, and the best story, the Patriots are in first place in the AFC East. We're not even halfway through this season. They have been great on the road. They went to Buffalo, where it's a very difficult place to win. We'll see what happens the rest of the year now because they've got some problems. You surprised the Patriots have taken off after fumbling 5 times and barely losing to Pittsburgh. I thought, oh, boy, same old Patriots, man, and they have flipped it around.
I think they got a great coach in Mike Vrabel. And, the irony about that, in Tennessee firing their coach this week, Joe, is that the Patriots are going to Tennessee this Sunday.
Oh,
and the Tennessee Titans, who are just poorly led, and Cam Ward will one day probably be another reclamation project. They're going to see themselves watch Mike Vrabel bring this team in and probably whip them up pretty good and go, what in the world were we thinking we let this guy go? There's only so many great coaches in this business that know how to, know how to lead, know how to handle these players, know how to, build some discipline within a team. That shows up every week right now. They did a great job spending their money on good players.
Yep. And
building up around a young quarterback who is growing up really fast right in front of us and is having a really good season.
Boy, I'm glad you said that. Drake May, when we play him second game of the year, and everybody's like, I don't know about Drake May. He's kind of thrown it. He wasn't great against the Raiders. Man, he played against us. He looked great. I mean, he made some throws to his backs down the sideline, up and out and up routes, down just wheel routes, beautiful throws that he had made. And boy, they don't look like they're going away. By the way, the Bills, along with the Eagles and Laws, but I want to start with the Bills. They got problems. Can they fix those? Because they got some of the same problems. They can't stop the run now.
No, I mean, you just saw what happened with Atlanta. I mean, Bijan goes for 81 yards, to kind of open that game up, but they ran the ball for 206 yards against them, and it's been an issue. That's what the Ravens did when they beat them earlier this year, and so it's been a problem. And now they're minus some players in there. Milano goes down again. I mean, they can't seem to stay healthy in a lot of spots, but it's been an issue with them in the postseason and in big games. But I guess the bad part was, they only scored 14 points. And that's the fewest points Buffalo scored in a long time. And, they had the chance. It was 21-14 for most of that fourth quarter. They just could not, put a drive together. And that's with Josh and, and Cook and, the same offensive line. So they struggled in that department too. So I thought it was a total team loss, Joe.
How about Eagles? The Eagles all of a sudden, I know you're real close to their organization. What's your take on their 4-2 right now?
Well, this could be a collapse right now. I mean, they've scored 17 points in each of the last two losses to Denver and to the Giants. They gave up 5 touchdowns to the Giants, Joe. Like, I didn't think the Giants were capable of scoring 5 touchdowns in 2 games. They scored 5 in 1 game last Thursday night. So they've got issues on both sides of the ball. And, the offense, players are saying it looks predictable. I can show you plays that look awfully predictable on third downs.
Yeah.
They're just, they're not, last year they ran for over 3,000 yards, Joe. They're going to run for less than half of that right now, the way they're going.
Yeah. And it's same because a lot of the same guys on that offensive line. It's crazy. How about the Lions? I want to throw them in there also at 4-2. Is that a little different 4-2 feel to you?
Well, a little bit. I mean, defensively, it's like the whole league, Joe. I mean, they're playing, corners right now that are off the street, and they're getting beat down the field. They're giving up a lot of big plays. Offensively, they're very good. They did not have a great game on Sunday, and that was against Kansas City. And Kansas City is all the way back despite the 3-3 record.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that team. I mean, they might go on a 10-game tear the way that offense is playing, but the surprising part was that Detroit was really kept down in that game. And the offense that looked like they were scoring almost 40 a game for a while, they scored less than half of that.
Hey, speaking of the Giants, they got 2 rookies. I got to tell you, we'll see how long the running lasts. But what do you think of Dart at quarterback, who plays with so much passion?
He just is the Energizer Bunny. Like, the guy just loves to compete, Joe. He played 44 games in college. He has a lot of experience. He's gone to Baton Rouge and Tuscaloosa and all those big places in the SEC and won. He's a big play guy. I think he's loving every second of this thing. And I've been around him a little bit, Joe. Like, he's totally committed to everything you got to do. They're playing without their best player, Malik Neighbors, and they got a tough assignment. I mean, Denver's defense and that pass rush of theirs is fierce. It's by far the league's best. They're going to have their hands full. But that running back, Joe, he's Larry Zonka. Like, he's Zonka, man. He's just running people over right now, and he does not want to be denied. They've totally changed that whole franchise, those 2 players.
That's amazing, the 2 rookies. Such a great story for that team. I see the coach up in front, and I was thinking I wouldn't, if I was a rookie, no matter what round I was in, screaming and yelling while my coach is up there. And he stops the press conference and he looks back and he just shakes his head. They're all laughing. He's out there, man. And by the way, I don't know how long that career is going to last, the way he runs at people, but I'll tell you, it's going to be fun while he's there.
There's going to be a lot of bad highlights of players trying to tackle him over the next couple of years, Joe. I know that.
Oh, my God. Hey, so I got to ask you for your money, and I know we're not even at the halfway point. We still got a lot of games left. The best team in the AFC right now, because I know Kansas City, what they just did, and they're getting another receiver back. You're like, oh, boy, this thing could be taken off. But I did want to know, who's the best team for you?
Right now, They're starting to put it together. Aaron looked really good the other day. They have just enough on off, and defensively, they can really get after you. I think Pittsburgh, all those teams, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis is for real. This rookie, Tyler Warren, Joe.
Oh,
I don't know if you got a chance to
I
watch
saw
that
it.
rookie tight end.
Oh, Lord.
I
Shoot us
don't
up.
know how anybody. I don't know how anybody passed him up. All you do is just the kid can throw it, he can run it, he can block like nobody else right now. They got the league's leading rusher, and quarterback's not making many mistakes. That's a really and defensively, I think they're going to get better as some of these guys they picked up off the street get Lou Anarumo's defense down a little bit more. But that's going to be a tough out for a lot of teams.
Yeah. By the way, man, that tight end, he's 6'6", like 260, catches everything, no matter where, and he's fast. He's
fast, and the guy, he leads them in receptions right now. The offense goes through him, Joe. He's unbelievable. He reminds me of Mark Bavaro. The way he doesn't say two words.
That's a good one.
Doesn't say two words. He's like tough as can be, and catches everything that they throw to him.
Well, Baldy, listen, man, thank you so much. It's going to be fun to watch. Always appreciate having you, buddy. Thank you.
Always, Joe. Have a good week, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
Brian Baldinger, Odyssey NFL Insider.
It's also the host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider calls are brought to you by Nationwide for your insurance and financial needs. Nationwide is on your side, Joe.
Sing that for me once. Just give me that. Nationwide is on your side.
That was good.
All right. Atlantic Men's Clinic is on my side every day. ED, low T, man, I had it. I'm not proud out there for those of you who still laugh when I talk about my personal stuff like low T and ED. Man, I got to tell you, it happens to every guy out there. I was lucky it hit me hard in my 60s, but some of you it hits in the 40s and 50s. Now, what are you going to do about it? You can either go through life and being tired and moody and just not feeling any type of energy. And your sex drive, usually when you got low T, ED follows and your sex drive is kind of hit and miss. And then it's just miss one day. Even my wife's going, oh, it's okay. You're stressed out. You probably had too many drinks. It's okay. I'm like, no, hell no. I don't want this. I went to Atlantic Men's Clinic. I got that testing done, the PSA test. I got it all done. Met with their professionals. I said, what the hell's going on? I don't like this. I don't want this. They knocked it out quickly, man, and they're going to do the same thing for you. They got 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. After they get your numbers, sit down with you. They're going to put you on a program that's perfect for you, safe, the right way to do it with a professional staff like Atlantic Men's Clinic has. Brand new location in Hollywood. Make that first appointment. It's a game changer. 877-455-7300. You're lacking energy right now and dragging through life, and you've gained some weight because you're not active, and you're like, I don't know what's wrong. I'm just tired, and nothing's happening. You become friends with your wife. Matter of fact, you're sleeping in the other bedroom. 877-455-7300 or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Good morning to everybody here in this 9 o'clock hour. I want to thank Baldy. Talking a little bit. Boy, it's no secret, man. The front seven got to play better. And if Cleveland is able to run the football like everybody else has so far, to be honest, then it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long, long day. Boy, if you can stop the run. Just when I say stop the run, keep somebody right at 100 yards or less. But it can't be a 5.6 average. Get it back in low fours. And then, offensively, balance it out. It's not going to be easy. It's pretty good defense. So this will be another good one. They got their own problems, man. There's just heard Baldy kind of taking some shots at lefty there, called Dylan Gabriel. What'd he say, 5'8" or 5'9"? They have him 5'11". I don't know what his actual size is. It doesn't matter. But they score 13 points a game. So, again, I know it's like a broken record, but if you can get your defense straightened out. I'm not worried about coverage. I agree with Baldy. I don't think their receivers are very good. I don't think that's a very good group at all. So, sounds like Woody said. Hey, sounds like a low-scoring game. I agree. Not going to be surprised if both teams are under 20 or right at 20 or low 20s. So that's for the game coming up here, and we'll have a lot more coming up tomorrow. Don Strock's going to join us, and Big Bo should be in here with us tomorrow as we get all our business stuff here done today. And then we got the Canes, man. Friday night, going to be a big crowd at Hard Rock Stadium. We'll have it all for you right here on WQAM, obviously. And this is a big one, man. Now, we had talked to Brett McMurphy. We're going to have that for you coming up again. He likes Louisville. And he thinks this game's a little closer. Obviously, he thinks Canes are a more talented team. Hell, they're one of the most talented teams in the country. Well-balanced on both sides of the football. Great on the line of scrimmage, which hasn't been the case until this year. This is the first time you can truly say in a long, long time, I feel good about my offensive and defensive lines in my front seven on defense. Now, we said that last year about the Canes' offensive line, but both sides. But he thinks this is you better come out like you have in every other game so far. You're a little worried about South Florida. You came out and you treated them that way. You're a little worried about FSU, your first ACC game on the road. You're up 28-3. Florida comes to town, nothing needed there. You're playing the Gators. Everybody's up for that game. This is an interesting one. Now, you got to beat these teams. And in the past, somebody's always been able to get you. Somebody. Georgia Tech, Louisville, trying to think of some, Syracuse. And I know Mario is fighting this stuff, man. He's fighting whatever people are putting out there, patting his team on the back and telling them how wonderful they are and how great you are and you guys are the best team. And hey, and Mario doesn't want to hear about Ohio State, Miami right now, and Oregon. He don't want to hear about everybody. He just wants to hear about his team. So we'll see how they come out Friday night, man. National TV, Friday night game. This should be a good one. So anyway, we talked to Brett McMurphy and his thoughts on the Canes and college football, including a little Mr. Belichick as well. We'll have that for you coming up. But first, before we do, I got to tell you for just a second about Gary and Harvey. I just call him Gary and Harvey. We should do a commercial that just says, hey, I want you to meet Gary and Harvey. Talking about Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah, partners of Cohen and Judah Injury Law Firm. Man, I tell you what, they got the personal touch. That's what I tell everybody. First of all, when they say something, they mean it. When they tell you no handoffs to other attorneys, they don't have any other. Gary and Harvey handle everything. Great communicators, passionate guys that care about you, understanding, caring, and understand when you've been injured in a slip and fall or an automobile accident, it friggin' hurts, and you want an update on how your case is doing. And if you're with somebody and you got the handoff, wait a second. You're not the name on the law firm. No. He doesn't try cases. No, he doesn't do that. Not like Harvey and Gary do. That's not their deal. they give them to somebody else. Well, that's not what you signed up for. You want the big guys that look so good in those commercials. Go to ConanJudah.com. Read the reviews. Come on over and join them. You need some help and you want better treatment? They're going to do it for you. They really will. 866 fair fee. Go to ConanJudah.com. Read the reviews, what people are saying about them. Hey, don't pay other lawyers to do the work you hire them to do. I think you're really going to like Harvey Cohn and Gary Judah.